What's up, guys? It is 5 a.m. and it is back day, and it's Friday, so get to make this workout count. Crunching for time. Got to be get ready for work in like 45 minutes or so. So I'm just going to start with a compound movement, crunching for time. So let's recruit the most muscle fibers we can. We'll start with some barbell rows, and it's a good movement. Helps bring everything in sync. So upper traps, your rear delts, your lats, your lower lats, mid back. It's just a good overall exercise. So I don't know how many sets I'm going to do. I don't really know about how many reps. I like to just go up as high as I can and then drop set on the way down and just kind of burn it out. And I'm not really sure what other exercises I'm going to do. Like, I don't really plan very well, just because I kind of always go by feel like during my workout. Like in my head, I'm like, I'm going to do some dumbbell rows today. And then I start off with something, and then I probably might not even do the dumbbell rows. So, but let's go ahead and start this first set. If you want to call it a set. I trained legs like 2 days ago, so my hamstrings are killing me right now. So we're just doing 135. Back's a little tight. My lower back's a little tight, but generally, as I warm up, everything starts to really loosen up. So hopefully I can get some more weight on here, but you know, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, so everything's still tight. And I've had a long week with work and some of my other training sessions to where, man, them last days of the week are like, ugh. I did have a rest day yesterday, but work in itself was a workout, so I didn't really rest. I still ate good, got some good protein, but what are you going to do? So I'm going to do another set of that. I need to get things firing before I start upping the weight. And then my body's like, all right, let's go. So barbell rows, a classic. I might do another set of that. Really get everything popping. This set felt better than the first one. I don't really go crazy with high reps in the beginning, just because I need to save. Well, I kind of utilize most of my energy for the heavier sets. And I get a weight that's at the heavier set, and then I drop set down. And I may do one drop set, I may do two, or I may just strip a plate off each way, or I may run a rack. Like, I benefit just from the drop sets alone. So, especially if I'm crunching for time, like, that's the best thing for me, is to just up weight, strip it all down, and like get your money's worth out of the exercise. Don't just, just 3 sets of 12 and maybe it was an easier 12 reps, But for me, if I'm going to do three sets of 12, that last set, I might not even get 12. And if I don't, that last set turns into a drop set to where I'm stripping weight and really burning out the muscle. That's my version of like a 3 set of 12, So Just something to think about. You know, the intensity should kind of match what you're trying to do. The weight is subjective to you, you know. All right, let's go ahead and bang these out. All right, let's throw some 10s on there. I like to build slow. And the reason for that is that I get a lot of sets from training like this, even though it's lower reps. But because I'm doing so many like sets, I'm getting a good bit of volume in there. So I always love barbell rows. I always love deadlifts. You know, I love barbell shrugs. I love barbell work as it pertains to back day. And then my other two favorite exercises, if it's not a barbell, would be pull-ups and changing grips often, and then dumbbell rows. Everything else, I like some of the other things, but they're like bonuses to me. I feel like those exercises that I named are like the basics, and they work. They work because you can progress in the weight very, very well, and they're compound exercises. So, you know, you're getting a lot of work with all the muscle groups around the main muscle group. And when you're crunching for time, that's what you want. If you're crunching for time, you know, depending on what you're working, most of the time you don't really have time to be, you know, using that time for an isolation movement when you could just use a compound, recruit the most muscle fibers, stimulate the most, get in, get out, and get right to your protein eating and doing whatever you got to do. So, all right. Oh yeah, so I'm gonna throw another 10 on there. And most people, they like to, you know, start from like the rack position into like shrugs or rows or one of the movements, which I have some rack stands, but for me, assuming my lower body's not beat the crap, tight hamstrings and all that, I always like to start my rows or my heavier barbell shrugs from the deadlift position, because as I'm going up, I'm at least getting one deadlift rep in that exercise, and then I'm going right to boom. So that I've always trained like that, and my forearms have benefited from it. My arms, my back has really benefited from it, because I mean, you got to think about it, like you're starting from your deadlift position. That's your whole posterior chain, and then your arms are just holding on. I'll use straps once I get to the end to where like I can't hold the bar anymore. Like I said, I try to get the most. Now I know some guys, they'll go straight to straps, put them on so they can just really focus on that area. It's still compound, but they're still focusing on more of that area. But I like everything. So, you know, if my grip starts to fail, like really fail, I go get straps. But all right, let's get this. Wait. 5 a.m., huh? If you're like me, you're crazy. That was terrible. My energy shot, but hey, whatever the weight is, that's what we're going to do. So I guess we'll take those 10s off, and we'll throw some 25s on there. As you can see, I need to invest in more plates. But my training method I always burn out early. And I don't really hang around to recover enough to do heavy weight. Now there's sometimes if I'm not crunching for time and I have time, like if this was a Saturday, honestly, I might do like the deadlift into shrugs to failure and just pyramid all the way up to failure, pyramid all the way down to failure. And sticking with that, it'd take me like an hour of deadlift shrugs. And so I have time to, and everything else bonus after that, I'm just moving blood. But something like this, it's like you gotta get in the quickness of it. So all right. Hopefully this goes pretty good. Oh, I can't use my fatigue as an excuse because we're gonna get what we're gonna get. That felt really good. Sometimes that heavier weight will just really help engage the body, because sometimes when things are too light, like, yeah, you'll warm up, but sometimes that heavier weight just helps things start to connect and fire, assuming you've done the movement. And so we'll just add the 10. I said we'll just stop slow, and we're going to go up as high as we can until we can't really go up anymore, to where like the reps start looking like a problem. And depending on how bad that is, we either lower the weight back down and stick with that working set, or we stay at the highest point that we got to. And that'll be what we do. And then we'll possibly drop set, from this. Let's see, what time is it? 5:17. All right, we got some time. Oh man. But yeah, shout out to all my home gym people, getting it done at home with whatever you got. I don't really have much here. I got this cable machine off Temu for like $170. Adjustable dumbbells that go up to 90 pounds, a foldable bench. I have a PowerTech bench over here that you can put different attachments on and use leverage-based exercises. I got dumbbells over here. Just the basics. I also got a pull-up dip machine, power tower on the other side of this wall over here, which I use a lot, but it's mostly like finisher work. So, all right, so we got our 10 on there. So I don't know how this is going to go, but hopefully it goes pretty good. No, sometimes you got to get your mind right to pick this thing up. Normally the deadlift's like the easier part for me, but oh man, just tired. I wish I could be excited, but this week's got me spent, and this is just where we are. So I'll probably hang out here, because I think if I go up, it's just going to get messy. And I'm trying to burn out. I'm not trying to go, 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 go. Like, because then your reps start getting messy. And then I can feel it. I haven't, not the most recovered over this week. I'm not tweaking nothing. I got to be consistent. So trying to stimulate heaviest I can, the best way I can, and then train the failure down from that. So if you're someone starting out, just go up to what you can handle, hang out there a little bit, and then just start dropping it down. Get your failure sets in there. Really aim to stimulate. I know some people, they're so concerned about the weight, but sometimes you can lift that heavy weight, but your body's not hitting that stimulation that it needs to recruit. You know, that's why a lot of people, when they go heavier weight, the rest periods are longer, so they can continue to stay at that heavier weight. So, and they do less reps, but I try to get a piece of that and then incorporate that into my drop set. All right, let's go ahead and pick this thing up. Oh man, it's getting hot in here. Hot in here. I'm gonna just hang around here. Oh man. But yeah, I'd always start your exercise or start your workout with some kind of compound movement, because I'm still using a good bit of my body. And the compound, the reason for that is you can go up in weight. You can push the most weight starting off. And then everything after that is just bonuses, finishers and stuff like that. But especially if you're crunching with time, you need to start, or you should start, with some kind of compound movement, particularly with a barbell if you can help it, because that'll get your body firing to be able to do these things. I know sometimes people get caught up. They'll start in the beginning, they'll do the compounds, and then as they progress, they start to lean a little bit away from the compound stuff, especially in a normal gym setting, because it's so convenient to use those machines. But I will say, when you're in a home gym, you're limited on certain equipment, or a lot of equipment. You're almost forced to do the basics. And what's great is, for me, when I'm doing the basics here, just compound movements, when I go to a gym and I do their little lat pull downs and their little rows or whatever, I'm putting some weight on those things. But I'm so used to the compound movements that, when you go to an actual gym, you can actually capitalize on those different angles and stuff like that. But you're so used to the compound heaviness of it that when you do something a little more isolation in those specialty machines, it's like butter. All right. Oh. Oof. 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 It's okay if you get a little swing in there. We're working it. So I'm going to do one more set of that, and then I'm going to go into drop sets and just burn that out. And then I'm not really sure what exercise I'll do after that, but it'll be something. Maybe dumbbell shrugs. I don't know. But I love shrugs. I love working your traps and your rhomboids. Get that T shape going. But, or maybe we'll do shrugs from the barbell, actually, from the deadlifts position. You got to think, if I do that, like, the entire time I'm working out, I'm going into a deadlift. per exercise. That sounds like a good idea, honestly. But with the shrugs, we'll go to failure on each one for the volume's sake. All right. Let's see if we can get our money's worth here. Make sure everything's right. And like, this isn't, you know, for serious people, this isn't a lot of weight, but if you're training to burn out, it becomes a lot of weight. Because I mean, all right, let's get it up. Boy, my body is exhausted, so we're going to drop set that. I'll just take the tens off. So we're going to pick it back up, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to keep going. Crunching on time, so get your money's worth out of each exercise. Ooh. 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 The last one didn't want to come up. And we're going to drop set again. We're going to get back to this normal weight. Our starting weight. Because I'm trying to burn. And cry. Not really, but I will. Deadlift position. In the row. Whoa. And that is that. All right. Oh, my lats are, good Lord. And you see, that was nothing impressive. But I'm like, because it's a compound movement, barbell rows will take it out of you. Because you're holding it, you're trying to do the movement, everything's engaging. So I think we'll go into the barbell shrugs. Same principle. So let's go ahead and get ready to do that. All right. Let's get into some barbell shrugs to failure. I mean, what time is it? 5:29. So normally I'll stop around 5:40. So we're going to blow this up is what we're going to do. Start with your deadlift position and just, I don't know how many I'll get. Oh my. That was the failure, so I'm gonna up the weight on the next one. I'm just gonna throw some tens. We're gonna go up and we're gonna do as many reps as we can each one, and then we're gonna go back down. Because this is the volume that I'm talking about. And it's also a compound exercise, so I like to be relatively lean. I like things, definitions, stuff like that. So my workouts are also fasted. So I don't do a whole lot of cardio. I need to get your lawyers and sue me, but I do a lot of fasted workouts and I do a lot of compounds. So most of the time my body needs more calories as far as like getting heavier and getting to a certain like lifting heavy as well. But because of that, my protein's always high. So I'm generally lean all the time. I prefer it because sometimes just eating that much and how busy my work is, my physique's just going to end up where it's going to end up. It's been progressing though. But so at our 10s, let's pick it up. Deadlift position. Get comfortable and just shrug the hell out of it. Just shrug the shit. When you do this enough, you'll feel it in your forearms, trying to hold on. Oh my gosh. So that felt pretty rough. So we're going to add another 10. And just remember, you're deadlifting every rep. Or every set, I'm sorry. Every set. I mean, compounds of volume. That'll get you where you need to go, assuming you're training intense. Oh man, I feel that in my traps. Like, it feels good. I'm tired, but I should have did this first in the week. I'm gonna add more weight on here. But then again, it's not about the weight all the time, so it's about the stimulation. So boy, am I feeling it. So what time is it? 5:33. So let's go ahead and let's get this up. Deadlift position. Shrug. Just don't want to get up. So I'm going to do another set there at that weight because no point in going up again because I barely got anything there. So we'll stay here for one more set and then we'll drop set it. And then I'll have to find some kind of finisher. Maybe pull-ups. I don't know. We'll probably, maybe pull-ups. Maybe not. One thing about doing this stuff and then going into pull-ups, like your grip definitely is compromised because you're like sitting here holding the barbells the whole time, like failure wise. Oh man, I definitely recommend doing any back day motions from the deadlift position. That's just personal preference. I think there's benefits in even getting that motion consistently from the start of your exercises. So to my people who do rows and whatever barbell work off the ground, I think you're benefiting a lot from it. All right, let's get it up. All right, we'll take a 10 off and we're gonna do it again. We're gonna go right back into the shrug. That's what we're gonna do. See, my workouts ain't flashy. They're not pretty. They're simple, basic, but We'll take the tent off. All right, that's the last one. So as many as we can get, whatever. And that's it for that. And like my back is fried. I mean, from starting with deadlifts, rows, shrugs, I've hit my whole posterior chain, the whole thing. And my hamstrings are still tight from 2 days ago from doing stiff legs for that. So my posterior chain is popping right now. So, which is good. That's what I want. That's what I want. And if you're crunching for time and you're just looking for ideas to get the job done, you're like me and you're just got to be at work. There's a bunch of kids. Your wife's in nursing school. It's you know what I mean. So that's why I do it so early at 5. No distractions. I would like to say I'm my freshest, but that depends on the day and how well I recovered the day before. So let's find something to burn out on. All right. We are at the power tower. So I'm just going to spam these. I'll go wide. Sometimes I'll do a middle. Sometimes I'll do reverse. I don't know. We'll just pick one and we'll just roll. So I don't have a lat pull down machine. So this is the next best thing. So plus it's compound. So let's just go to failure and just truly finish the job. So make sure y'all stretch. Oh, spent. So maybe the next one will hit wide if I can even do one at this point, because I'm pretty good Lord. And you gotta think, I've only done 3 exercises and I got a little pump, my back is fried, especially my rhomboids, lower lats. All right, let's get into wide grip. Let's do some wide grip. Let's see if I can at least make something happen. All right. Oh man. We'll do one more set with reverse, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm hitting my failure point. Everything else, you're just moving blood, and that's up to you if you want to keep going. But I know for me, this is really all I'm gonna need. All right, let's finish strong. I'll probably get like no reps, but let's do reverse. That's my back day. Nothing crazy. 3 exercises, burning out, getting failure, done. Short and sweet. 30 minutes, if that. 40, I don't know. But you guys want to see more home gym training and you guys like stuff like this, just go ahead and like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.